Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Dom from Lensprotogo and Lens Rentals, and welcome back to the channel. So back in September of 2018, Blackmagic Design gave us this awesome camera, the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And this was a big deal camera, especially amongst Micro Four Thirds shooters. But then, just months later, they gave us this thing, 6K pocket camera. In EF mount, Blackmagic RAW, CFast media, super lightweight, and a ton of people that year said, I'm making that thing my next camera, and they did. But with that being said, now that people have been using their 6K pocket camera for a couple of years now, some well-discussed issues are starting to arise. Like the battery life wasn't great at all, and there was a lot of problems balancing these on gimbals. And although the screen is nice and large, it could be really hard to see at times. So fast forward to today, and what does Blackmagic do? Can you tell what's coming? Boom! Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. Or if that doesn't roll off the tongue, I like to call it the BMPCC6KP. So if you haven't guessed it by now, I'm about to tell you that Blackmagic Design addressed all of those issues that I just mentioned with the original 6K with the 6K Pro, and they even taught it some new tricks too. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what's new with the BMPCC6KP, or the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. So first, let's go over what's new with the 6K Pro physically. Well, first off, the 6K Pro is a bit taller than the original and the grip is a bit deeper, but other than that, all the dimensions are pretty much the same otherwise. And I might as well mention that the layout of the buttons, the media it takes, and the sensor are all the same as the original 6K. What is new, however, is this 5-inch tilting screen that can tilt all the way facing up or face down at around 45 degrees. This is a very welcomed change, and this screen doesn't feel the least bit flimsy at all. It actually feels really nice and sturdy to operate. They really stepped up the monitoring situation with the 6K Pro because there's even this added electronic viewfinder attachment, the Pro EVF. And I don't have my hands on one quite yet, but you remove this little cover here and it plugs right into this little port. And that's gonna be really awesome when you're shooting with this in bright conditions like the direct sunlight. Next, my favorite addition, built-in ND filters in 2, 4, and 6 stops. I found myself always using NDs when I was shooting on the original 6K, so if they can be right in the camera body and not in front of the lens, awesome. Next is an answer to one of, if not the biggest problem of the original 4K and 6K pocket cams, the power issue. We got an L series battery port in the 6K Pro for NP-F70 batteries, and there's even a new grip extension for this camera that will hold 2 of these batteries, and that should give you some really substantial battery life. Much more than the LPE6s of the original pocket cams. Okay, last physical thing here. All the inputs and outputs in this camera are the exact same as the original, although you do get one additional XLR Mini in the Pro. Okay, moving on to what Blackmagic changed with the 6K Pro internally. Well, again, I'm actually going to mention what's not new with the 6K Pro first. There are no new recording modes in the Pro, and I'm a little bummed out about this because I was at least expecting a 4K 120 FPS mode. Anyways, one new change in the Pro, which we might see stick around for a while, is the introduction of their Gen 5 color science. Now, I haven't really dove into doing any serious color grading from this camera, so the change in color science isn't super obvious to me right off the bat, but Blackmagic claims that this new color science is going to be more friendly to intercut between original Pocket 4K and Pocket 6K footage. The 6K Pro has better communication with EF and EFS lenses, although after testing that out for a bit, I also can't really tell what's different there. It might just be internal stuff like autofocus speeds and metadata. Alright, so that's pretty much going to wrap up this video going over what's new with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. So, if you've been shooting on this camera for longer than I have, which is only about a day and a half, I would love to hear from you, especially if you've used the EVF attachment. So, if you have any questions or comments about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, drop a comment in the comments section and we'll start a discussion. Also, while you're down there, if you happen to like this video, hit it with the thumbs up button down below to let me know you liked it. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel so you can be in the loop whenever we post new content, which is every week. So take care, and we'll see you in the next one.